Okay, we want to bring on the newest member of the show. We met him in an interview. I mean, I've never actually seen his body in real life. I'm not sure he's actually a real human being, except for the internet. But here he is, Coleman Crawley.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Coleman, welcome to the show. After this, you're not a guest anymore. Like, you're just part of the show. But this is
recording in progress.
Recording in progress.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, Coleman, full disclosure, recording in progress.
Got it.
So, Coleman, just as we're moving from football to basketball, we talked about your story where you're driving all over the country, watching a lot of these mid-majors play, looking for the next Cinderella. But how are you able to keep up with college basketball in general if you're always on the road?
No, to be fully transparent, I am not able to keep up with it as much as I was when I was able to sit at home on my couch on a Saturday and, flip through 20, 25 plus games between my phone on ESPN Plus and between what's on the TV. I'm not able to watch as much as I was before. But still, checking in on scores, and when I can see games, I watch them.
Who do you think right now are the best four teams in college basketball? Right, if you had to put them up right now, you bet money this is the Final Four.
So I feel like I've seen the best team in person. Last Sunday, I went and watched Houston take on Temple on the road, and I think Houston's the best team in the country. I do think playing in the American and not seeing Power Six, Elite Eight or better type competition in their conference does hurt them just a little bit. But, man, Kelvin Sampson and what he's done at Houston has been incredible. They focus so much on the defensive end. And when they're turning you over, getting in transition, wow, are they very difficult. Purdue, they just lost on Sunday, but I still think they're probably one of the best four teams in the country. I mean, Zach Edey at 7'4", how do you guard that? You can't teach that size. Alabama, although I think their style is inconsistent because they rely so much on the three ball, and I don't think it's a style that's going to win a national championship, I do think they're one of the four best teams. And when they're hitting from the outside, they could be the best team in the country. And then UCLA is another team that I like their balance, that I think those are the top four. But I think we're going to have a chaotic tournament where the top four aren't, making it to the Final Four or winning the title.
Yeah, and it's whoever gets put in, what region as well. But when, just a couple of those, like you watched Houston play, do you not feel like they're too guard-centric? Because at times, it's 3 and 4, guard wings. Do you feel like that's going to be able to hold up through the tournament?
I think their inside guys are good enough. Reggie Chaney, Jawan Roberts. I think they're good enough to complement their guard, Shed Sasser. And then they've got a freshman in Jarris Walker that, gosh, freshmen shouldn't be built that way. I mean, holy cow, he's got an NBA-ready body, looks about like Zion Williamson, may not be able to jump quite like him. But I think he can be physical enough, although he does float out to the perimeter, that he can help them inside as well at times on boards or defensively. That I think their inside presence is good enough where they have some balance.
With Alabama, just looking at their shot charts after the game, I mean, you're right. They shoot 3 or they shoot it right by the goal. I mean, rarely are you going to see any sort of mid-range jumper from a Nate Oates team, and that's how they've always done it. And you're right. If they're on, they are big trouble. However, they lost big time to Oklahoma earlier this year, and Oklahoma is a slow, not completely up to where they're going to be athletically because they have a new coach over there recruiting kind of a different system now. But if Alabama is – but shooting threes, and you played ball obviously, is it harder to shoot threes in an away gym?
I would say so, yes. I mean, you're just not as familiar as you are in your home gym that you're practicing every day.
Why do I suck in both then, home and away? Because you feel like you would be able to play better in some gym, but I'm not. But Alabama, you're right. They are very athletic. They've got freshmen that are awesome. And if they are shooting 38 to 42% from three, like they are so lethal.
Absolutely. They have that potential to run anyone in the country out of the gym if they're shooting well from three, if they have a great three-point shooting night. But I think that style of play where you essentially eliminate the mid-range game just creates inconsistency, and we see a loss like they had at home to Oklahoma 2 years before. They did the exact same thing, lost to Oklahoma when they were playing some of the best basketball in the country. We saw them bow out, I think, in the Sweet 16 that year. I could see something similar with this team where they're a trendy pick, but I think relying on just threes or attacking the rim creates some inconsistency where I don't trust them to win 6 straight. when we get to late March.
The Duke-Virginia game was interesting. I have a friend who's a Duke fan. I'm not a Duke fan in any way whatsoever. But he was sending screenshots of like the clock with .02 seconds left and foul, and they fouled after. What happened? Because I know Duke ended up losing in overtime. What happened in that game that was so controversial?
Well, when the ACC released a statement afterwards, basically saying, hey, we're sorry, the refs got it wrong. There was contact in the shot being released before the clock struck 0, but for whatever reason in that review, maybe it was because they were playing at Virginia, the refs felt scared to make that call. They decided to send it into overtime. Virginia able to win that one in overtime. You would assume Kyle would be able to hit one of those two, and Duke would have got out of there with a big-time road win. I feel bad for him, but you feel like Duke gets those calls all the time,
Dude,
right?
I like to see Duke get screwed over for once. Yeah, that's right. Duke, that's how we feel all the time. Every other team. That's how we feel all the time. Biggest impact freshman this year so far?
We just talked about Bama. I would maybe have to say Brandon Miller. Wow, he's been awesome. At one point, I don't know what he's averaging now, but he was averaging about 18.5 and 8.5 boards per game. He's been exceptional. I think he's been the best so far. We just mentioned Kyle as well, Kyle Filipowski, who had that controversial no call at the end of the game for Duke. But 7-footer that moves really well and can shoot on occasion from the perimeter is another guy that could contend for that. A couple others, Keontae George of Baylor, Anthony Black of Arkansas, Grady Dick of Kansas, and then Jarris Walker, who I'd mentioned. He's really coming on strong at Houston.
I watch these freshmen. He mentions the freshman from Bama who they keep calling the next Kevin Durant, but it's like pump your brakes a little bit. Like, hold on just a minute. Like, it's hard. But because you don't hear anybody go the next LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You're not respecting Kevin Durant then, because Kevin Durant is like almost right there. Like, Kevin Durant's one of the best 15 players ever, in my opinion. Yeah. And they're like, he's the next K. I'm like, slow down just a little bit on comparing him to KD. But when you have these freshmen like an Anthony Black, or who's a 6'6" point guard and really had to develop offensively over the year, and they're coming and they're going so quick. And Eddie, maybe you feel weird about this too. It's hard for me to look at them as like 18-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they also got $1 million in their pocket, too.
I know, man. It makes us feel like crap.
Yeah. I'm like, you're 18, you're going to class, you got $1 million, and you're out just feeling cool and calm in front of 20,000 people playing basketball. But I guess if you're just good at it your whole life, maybe it's easier.
And Grady Dick, you talked about him. He doesn't look like he's, 19, 18, 19. Like, he looks older. And it's funny, like, he's got a face of an older dude. So I don't even think of him as a 19-year-old guy.
How many points you average a game, Coleman?
Like 16 my junior year, 13 my senior year.
Why less? They started shutting you down. They were like, that's the guy we got to stop.
They figured him out.
Mm-hmm. So we were better. We started destroying everybody. So I went from playing my junior year like 28 minutes a game to 20. So played less minutes, didn't have as many close games.
So you had to suffer because you guys got better?
Yeah, we played in a lot of close games my junior year. They had lost a lot of seniors from the year before. And then my senior year, we were blowing everybody out. Sometimes we'd only play the first quarter.
Did you guys win a state championship?
No, that's a tough topic to bring out, Bobby.
Why?
What happened? We were ranked number 1, got beat in the quarters.
Wait, that's not how it's supposed to work. Hold on. You're ranked 1 and you got beat in the quarters? By who?
Yep, by Tuttle.
And what happened in that game? Did you get robbed somehow?
No, we got off to a 24-0 start. We lost to Stillwell in the regional final, won 3 straight to get to the state tournament. The Stillwell coach and the Tuttle coach exchanged film. Stillwell was having to play the Mannix and Hera. Tuttle was playing us. And Tuttle knew every single play we were calling. Right when we'd yell it out, they'd know exactly where we were going.
Well,
they
not
just
supposed to
scouted
change film?
the absolute heck out of us.
I mean, you're not supposed to do that?
No, they absolutely can do that. They just knew everything we were going to run. They shot the heck out of it. We zoned them, got beat, sent home early.
Most threes you ever hit in a game?
9, I think.
Oh,
wow. After like 4, I'd have been kicking him in the balls.
It was 7 in the first quarter, so kind of embarrassing. I only hit 2 more after that.
Okay, did you ever experience the zone?
A zone against me?
No, like you're in the zone. You hit 7 in a quarter where it's like nothing's missing.
Where the fire's coming out of the ball?
Yeah.
He's on fire.
That game specifically.
So what does that feel like when you shoot, you make 7.25. Does it just feel like the rim is just massive and nothing you throw up is going to miss?
Absolutely. I mean, you just get into that muscle memory. For me, I put in so much work daily that it starts to feel like practice, where you're used to knocking down 85% from three. It feels like you're practicing, when you get in the zone like that and think everything's going in.
Dang, I've never been in the zone in anything in my life
Nah.
ever.
Nah.
Ever, anything. Like, and this guy's doing it like
I doubt it.
17. You're traveling around the country. Where are you today?
I am in Greensboro, North Carolina, but I'm about to head up to Washington, D.C., watch Maryland Eastern Shore play Howard.
And are people hooking you up, getting you in places?
Sometimes. So I just had an incredible experience at Liberty on Saturday. They gave me a campus tour. Their facilities are Power 6 good. It's incredible. But other times I'm just going to the game, getting a ticket like a regular.
Okay, this is what we should do, because I think we could probably help him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know anybody, but usually we can swing these nads around a little bit and get some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to Washington, D.C. today?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder, because Lauren is now working on this show off mic, if she can get a hold of somebody in the university and be like, he's coming, he's representing Bobby. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
that'd be incredible.
Well, maybe half the time we can get. Listen, it don't always work, and sometimes it's really embarrassing. Because sometimes my friends will do it, and I'm not even there. They're like, "Hey, Bobby Bones gonna be here for dinner," and they're like, "Who is that?" And then it's embarrassing because I didn't know they were gonna do it, and then they still tell me I got rejected. So let us
hurt your ego a little.
Yeah, well, my ego's constantly hurt, but let us make some calls, and maybe we can get them in some places with a little more oomph than having to buy a ticket and just go to a game. Yeah. How many miles do you think you put on your car this year so far?
Just since I started this, just under 13,000.
And when did you start this?
December 28th.
13,000 miles since.
Dude, hitting the road.
Oh. And your wife, is she ever like, yo, that's fun, I'm supporting you, but like seriously, do you have to go to all the games?
Yeah. No, people definitely do think I'm crazy. Like, I'm coming in for my brother's district game on the 17th, so I will miss a game on a Friday. And like, I've got friends wanting to kind of meet up for a birthday party. I'm like, I'm sorry, I got to hit the road. I got to be in Southern Illinois by Sunday at 2:00. I just can't be doing that. And they're like, can't you miss a day? Sorry, no.
But you're by yourself a lot, right?
Yeah, quite often.
Just driving.
Aside from when my wife comes.
I called Coleman whenever I was going to the Grammy red carpet. I had 3 minutes, and I wanted to call and be like, "Hey, we want you to join the show, like full as part of us." And I was like made up completely, all suit and makeup, and I was like, "Hey, Coleman, do you want to join the show?" It's like all hot. Who's got the biggest shot as of so far? The teams you've seen at being a Cinderella this year in the tournament.
I talked about them in the previous show I was on with you, but I think Marshall, and what's crazy is they aren't leading the Sun Belt. They have 4 Sun Belt losses. I've now seen them twice live. I just saw them near Myrtle Beach playing Coastal Carolina. And offensively, God, are they special. I mentioned Tavion Kinsey. He is absolutely a pro, 6'5", can rise up over anyone to get his shot off, score at all 3 levels. Great shooter, passer, facilitator, and Andy Taylor. Dan D'Antoni, they won a game as a 13 seed not that long ago. I could easily see them doing something like that again as a 13 or 12 seed. To mention a couple others, Dayton, I think they have the potential. A couple pro-type candidates. They just got Malachi Smith, Kobe Elvis healthy. When they did, they looked great on Friday. Sorry, my hotel rooms want me to check out. Can I
Classic. That's okay. Look, real quick? You go do that. We'll let and next week it'll be. Oh, he did it. There we go. They're like, "Sir, you peed in the floor."
Okay, I'm back.
All right. Good luck. We'll reach out to you later off air and see if we can facilitate something. If not this time, we can be ahead of them next time.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
head down now.
Tell him you pooped in the floor.
It's not working.
Yeah.
He's really late on that checkout.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Coleman. We'll see you. We'll see you later on this week.
Okay. Thank you all so much.
All right. See you, buddy. There he is.